Again, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the SGI Dynamic Speaker Toastmaster Club. For the benefit of guests, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided to 3 rounds. The first round is the table topic round where members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet. This round, also known as impromptu speech sessions. Guests are welcome to participate in the round as well. The second part of the session is the prepared speech round, where members will be delivering speech based on the project and path that they have chosen. The third round and the final part is the evaluation round, in which all the prepared speeches of the session will be evaluated by the evaluator. Today's meeting theme is entertaining. Without further delay, let's give a round of applause to our club president, Alicia Shah, for today's opening speech. Over to you, Alicia.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Peter Cheong. Today's theme, I learned that by being entertaining, you make a connection with another person, quoted by Robin Williams. And Robin Williams is a very famous comedian and actor. And he further made this quote. He said, I basically started performing for my mother, going, love me. What drives you to perform is the need for that primal connection. When I was little, my mother was funny with me, and I started to be charming and funny for her. And I learned by entertaining, you make a connection with another person. That was what Robin Williams said. And Robin Williams had an oversized need for love, for acceptance, for human connection that never left him. And what he valued most was love. Now, for me, I also started to perform when I was young. And how did I start performing? I remember when I was an adolescent, probably maybe 5, 6 years old, I attended a Christmas mass and everyone was singing. And so I got interested in entertaining by turning round to the row behind me. And there were a range of adults singing. And what I did was I started acting like what they call it, the person who conducts, a conductor. So I started conducting and getting them to sing together. And they were smiling and laughing at me. So that was my first taste of entertainment. And at that young age, I already started connecting with another person or people. They found me cute and laughed and had a good time. Now, as I got older, I began to hone my entertaining skills and I connected with my parents, mom and dad. Dad was the perpetual entertainer, or rather, he's the light-hearted person. He's always creating jokes at little things that we do, mistakes or funny things. Recently, I cleaned up my room after I shifted for a long while. Then Dad says, wow, you finally cleaned up the room after 20,000 years. I just, and I burst out in laughter. And mom is the opposite. Mom is very serious and stern. But I guess after living with a light-hearted person like my dad, she has finally also picked up some entertaining skills. Whenever I speak with her and I win the argument, because I'm from Toastmasters, so my communication is supposed to be good, right? She will remark, there you are, Toastmaster, not Toastmaster, but Toastmaster. So Whenever I hear this word Toastmaster, I'll just burst out laughing, like very happy to have won the argument. So what about you? How do you connect with another person? Do you allow humor, love to connect? We need to find ways to connect with another person. And one of the best ways to connect is entertaining. But obviously you try to use love to bring out the entertainment out. So without much ado, I'd like to hand over back to our Toastmaster of the day, Peter Chong. Back to you.
Thank you, Alicia, for delivering such entertaining speech. As we know, by making your speech entertaining, you will make much more connection, or you can use entertaining in your normal conversations to make the environments, to make easy to meet new people when you meet new people. But you also need to learn how to entertain yourself when you feel stressed. Let me share how I entertain myself during free time. I like reading during free times. Do you agree? Books are the best companions we can have. They give you the opportunity to escape your life and step into another time. Whenever you enjoy the magical words of Harry Potter's, or you want to unwind the all-time favorite classic, The Wuthering Heights, they will transport you to another era or setting. And may I invite some guests to share with us how you entertaining yourself during free time, or how you use entertaining to make connections. May I have some guests? Do you have any volunteer to sharing how their experience?
Yeah, I can go.
Sure. Over to you, Sergeant.
Yeah, thanks, Toastmaster. So I think, as you said, I also entertain myself with reading books. So I normally go with the lots of self-development books initially. Then I felt that nowadays I feel that it's always better not to read too many books, but read one book and be a master in that. There is a famous saying by Bruce Lee that he's scared of a man who knows one trick and practice 1,000 times than a person who knows 1,000 tricks and practice one time. So I always keep a lifelong journal, which is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I keep reading that book whenever I get some free time. Of course, I do spend time with my family and friends, but during this lockdown, extended lockdown, I enjoy reading more than anything else. Back to you.
Thank you, Sergeants. Do we have any guests to be sharing their experience, how they're entertaining themselves? Do you have any guesses? Hi, Anaya.
Yeah, hi. So I also like reading, but unlike Shajan, I am more into fiction and fantasy. And I think that comes from when in my childhood I used to really want to be a witch, a good witch. But that has sort of carried on into my adult life as well. And I still like magic and all things fantastical.
That's great. So do you have any guests who want to do the sharing for tonight? Maria, do you want to have sharing today? Anything to sharing today? So yep, John, over to you.
Okay. I'm not much of a reader. My career is revolving around advertising, so I'm more of a visual person. So most of my entertainment goes around movies and videos, online social media stuff like that. The thing is, I learned a lot from these clips that I see. I pick up little tiny details. It kind of connects me with my own personal experiences. And it also helps me when it comes to interacting with people. These tiny details will pop out in my head during conversations, and I'm able to put that to practice. It kind of helps me. So anything that's humorous keeps me entertained. That's much. Thanks.
Thank you, John. So without further delay, as the Toastmaster of the day, it's my duty to introduce the Flow Barrel who will assist me into running today's sessions. To keep track of the time spent by each speaker, please help me welcome the timer for today's meeting, Patricia Tay. Toastmaster Patricia Tay has been in the early childhood profession for over 20 years and a mother to 3 lovely girls. She believes that the joy of learning should never stop. May I invite Toastmaster Patricia to share the function of the timer and the responsibility of the timer. Over to you, Patricia Tay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Peter. Hello, everyone. I'm Patricia. I'm the timer for today. Very honored to be keeping track of the time for today's speeches. For impromptu speeches, I'll be showing green at the 1 minute mark, yellow at the 1.5 minute mark. I'll be showing red at 2 minutes, and you have 30 seconds to wrap up. As your timer, I'll be checking the time very carefully, so please pin me when you are speaking. All the best and have a wonderful meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Patricia Tay. Next, we will have our counter of the day, Dtm Lee Buckley. Lee loves to traveling and meeting people, learning and sharing the different cultures and cuisine globally. To quote Rohit, the best way to multiply your happiness is to share it with others. Over to you, Lee.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Peter Chung. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Lee Buckley, and my role as the R counter is to keep track of word crutches. For example, so, like, and repeated words, you know, yeah, kinda, and I'll be reporting this at the end of the meeting. The role is to help you to improve your vocabulary, as well as to remember to pause and then continue, and that will help you to reduce your word crutches. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Dtm Lee Buckley. Next, to provide us with the challenge for today's table topic round, we have the table topic master who will be conducting the sessions for today. Dtm Kanan Shankara. Dtm Kanan Shankara is living in Baltimore, Maryland with his wife Janaki Kanan and loves to travel. He also has one son who is studying in Johns Hopkins, and he started the Toastmaster journey late 2012 to improvise his speaking skills. He is giving speeches without any preparations, and his goal is to speak without any grammar mistakes. Please help me welcoming the table topic master for today, Dtm Kanan Shankara. Over to you, Dtm Kanan Shankara.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. What is table topics? Let us say you have a minute with one of your celebrity, one of your officers in your company, and you have only 20 seconds to travel with him in the elevator. You have to gather your thoughts and you need to talk. I am going to ask you some questions today. You can volunteer and I will ask that question. There is no right or wrong answer. You can talk about anything. You can talk about your pet, you can talk about your cooking experience, you can talk about your family. There is no problem. But if you are not able to answer the question, try to do something closer to the question. And every answer should preferably have a body, conclusion, and a great opening. That will give you the best table topic speaker of the day. I think the timer has already shared the parameter for the timing. For the benefit of the guest, you can put when you want to volunteer. I am going to ask an experienced Toastmaster. First, I'm going to pick an experienced Toastmaster, and he or she will demonstrate how your table topic question should be answered so that the guest can follow suit. Does that make sense? And I am against sharing any slides because this is active listening. So you need to listen to your question closely. If you are not able to follow me, you can ask me again. But I'm not sharing, I'm against sharing any slides because that defeats the purpose as I feel. Now, let me ask the first question so that the guest can follow and then volunteer. I am going to pick, let me check who can be there. I'm going to pick our counter, Lee Buckley. Are you ready, Lee, to take the challenge of the first question?
Sure, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Why I picked Lee, I have a reason for that. She will not now pick on me on the ahs and ums and other things. That is the reason. Okay. Now, Lee, over to you. The question is, how do you think your Toastmaster meeting should provide you an entertainment? How do you think your Toastmaster meeting should provide you an entertainment?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Table Topics Master of the day. How would a meeting provide you with entertainment? Usually when you attend a meeting, you're expected to be presentable, formal, to do your best. Isn't that boring, everyone? In a Toastmasters meeting, I always say, think of it as a pie, P-I-E. Do you like eating pie? That yummy pie, that crusty feeling, that crusty outer with the feeling inside. With the feeling, sometimes you look at a pie and you don't know what's expected. And I equate that with the table topics segment where you can be called upon and any topic at all to provide your answers. How it can be entertaining is put yourself in the shoes of, let's say, if you're asked to be a technical role player like myself, instead of coming and say, good evening, everyone, my name is Lee, and today I am going to blah, 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 blah. How boring, right? So what you do is you bring your personality to the meeting so that you can help to improve your confidence. Just think, for this 1 to 2 minutes, I have to have my thick skin on. Don't worry about being, shy. Don't worry if I haven't got the answer. All I have to do is talk for 1 to 2 minutes. On the other hand, to be honest, table topics is the best opportunity for you to practice your impromptu speaking skills. So bring yourself, bring your personality. And even if you are doing other roles, bring your personality to it. It doesn't have to be boring. When you're eating that pie, imagine the pleasure that you have eating the pie, so that in the future, when you do attend a Toastmasters meeting, bring yourself, bring your personality, and it will always be entertaining. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Lee. Distinguished Toastmaster Lee. Actually, that is the right way of answering a table topic question. Bring your personality to each question, to each of your response. Volunteer so that you can try out. There is no right or wrong. Nobody is going to penalize you. I am going to give an opportunity for the guest. You need to put it on the chat And I would like to request the Toastmaster of the day to read the people who are interested, because I cannot manage both. Thank you, sir. Whoever is the first volunteer, if you are not volunteering, then I will pick. That will be more difficult. Okay. Now I will give you 15 seconds so that people can choose. Otherwise, I'm going to pick at random. All right. I am not seeing anyone. So I am going to pick. From my screen, Li Ling. Li Ling, are you ready to take the challenge? I know you are not the guest, but I'm going to take you. Li Ling.
Me?
Yes.
That'll
That'll be fun.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm thrilling.
Lee, I love your smile. So the question is, what is the funniest experience you had with a dentist? What is the funniest experience you had with a dentist?
I couldn't catch your last sentence.
Okay.
What is your funniest experience you can?
With a dentist.
Oh, dentist. Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, good evening, good morning to everyone. The funniest experience I ever had with my dentist is I thought I got problem, but my dentist say no problem. That is the funniest thing. And I could not believe that. You know why? First, it's my two front teeth. You look at my two front teeth now, I show you in our camera. There's a black dot inside. However, when I went to the dentist, he said that black spot doesn't matter. You just have to put the Colgate inside if you're afraid there is a cavity, but it's a tiny dot of cavity. But it's quite funny. How come the dentist do not want to treat my two front teeth? What I am concerned is the two front teeth is important. It affects my appearance. Because imagine if I lose my two front teeth, how am I going to look like? It looks so ugly, right? So I could not believe that this dentist of my first visit do not want to treat this cavity. So I went to the second dentist. And the second dentist, the funniest thing is it's the same opinion as the first dentist. I can't imagine. Is this funny? Because the concern is me. I'm afraid I might lose the two front teeth. Then recently, I again visited the same dentist. I thought that this time he will surely do and fill my cavity. But the funniest is the same answer. Ladies and gentlemen, do you feel that this three kind of dentist opinion is funny? I think so. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Lee. That was a great experience. My dentist will not say there is no problem. Will find a problem so that she can take my credit card. For some reason, she will find a problem and say, you have to pay this much and this is a deductible. That's how our dentists are here. Great experience. Thank you. I have not seen any other volunteer so far. So I think I am going to pick. I'm going to pick Ananya Roy. Ananya Roy, are you ready to take the challenge?
Not really, but yeah, let's do it.
No?
No, let's do it. I'm not ready.
Try it out. No problem. I will give you a very simple question.
Okay.
what was the worst experience you had with a hairstylist? Because I love your hair. That's why I'm asking you. What was the worst experience you ever had with a hairstylist?
Okay. Hello, Toastmasters and the guests. And the worst experience I had with a hairstylist was not actually a hairstylist. It was my father. So in the lockdown, he somehow watched a lot of YouTube videos which explained how to cut people's hair. And he got a lot of confidence and he wanted to try it out on me. And it went horribly. So my front hair was short and my back hair was long. And the hair on left side was shorter than the hair on the right side. And it was a total mishmash. And I was okay with it because I'm not particularly fond of my hair, but I can imagine how it must have felt to other people if they had been in my shoes. So what I have started to do is cut my own hair. So this hairstyle that you're seeing now is my own doing. So I have also surprisingly learned from YouTube videos only, but I think I had the benefit of being a girl. So I knew how it's supposed to be. And my dad had cut my hair from a boy's point of view. So yeah, it was funny from someone else's point of view. Thank you. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Ananya. Why I asked this question? Because I don't have that problem. I don't have any hair. I don't have to worry about the hairstylist. I don't have to do anything. That's why I thought that you had a beautiful hair. That's why I asked you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, I am going to pick Veni, 1 minute, Veni Sadeli. Yeah, Yeni Sadeli. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Yeni, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I'm going to ask the question. What is the...
Right?
Can you hear me?
Joking.
Okay. What is the worst or the entertaining? What is the entertaining prank you have played with someone? What is the entertaining prank that you have played with someone?
Thank you, Tamil topic master. What is the entertaining prank that I ever do with someone? Let me recall. May I ask, how about all of you? Have you like to do some prank to all your friends? Wow, I can see Peter like nodded. What I like to do, I like to tease people. So the more they're angry, I'm quite happy. Before I do that, I will do some research first, whether are the person quite open to it or not. In a way, when you prank someone, actually you do a favor for that person, because on that day, you never know. Maybe at that point of time, the person also quite stressed with the work. You know, they're thinking, how can this P&L cannot balance? Only different 10 cents, you know. I wish I can just give you this 10 cents and I can close my book, but you can't do that. So at that point of time, what I do, I will go to my financial controller when she like scratching her head. Yeah, I prank her. I say something to make her laugh, and then at that point of time, in a way, I also do myself a favor. I feel enlightening as well. But if you ask me, what is the most prank thing that I ever done? It was in my high school when I was in the OSIS, is Indonesia. So I pranked my junior until he cried. That boy is crying. I also don't know why. But the funny thing, when every one of the junior need to send the love letter to the senior, mean the male must send to female, male must the female must send to the male. The boy that I made cry, he sent me the love letter. So I think that is the most funny thing. Can you imagine? You prank someone, make the person cry, and he sent me the love letter. That is the biggest thing that I ever done in my life. Back to you, table topic master.
Yanni, not only you spoke, but your whole body language was excellent. The body language, the way you enacted the scene, wow, great job, fantastic. Just watch for the time, just for one thing I want to say, watch for the timers thing. That is very important, okay? Because sometimes the elevator may stop abruptly, you have to finish your thought there. All right, who is the next volunteer? I think Angela has volunteered, so I have to go by the order. Angela, are you ready to take the challenge?
Yes, I am. Always ready. But sometimes orangey.
Angela, what food does everyone love but you hate? What food does everyone love but you hate? Angela.
That's easy. Shellfish. I'm allergic to it. So I sit and everybody is eating away and I have to ask for something different. And I say, how was it? And they say, oh, it was wonderful. Would you like some? And I say, no. Because my most awful experience was when I finished my exams and the boy took me out to celebrate, and I think he had designs on me. But unfortunately, his idea of a good meal was to have king prawns. And I'd eaten little shrimps and had no trouble. And I didn't know that I was allergic to king prawns. And maybe I wasn't. My husband always says that maybe I just got a bad one. But first of all, I started to swell up. My lips went big and my eyes went big. And my face started swelling up. And then I looked like I'd got chicken pox. I was absolutely the most beautiful romantic date you can imagine. And after that, I started to be sick. And then he took me home and I went on being sick all night. So that was his idea of a romantic date, and it didn't turn out that way. So whenever I go out to eat shellfish and people say, would you like some? I think I must not tell this story. I must not tell this story because I find it entertaining and you find it entertaining, but the people eating the shellfish might not find it entertaining. Back to you, Kanan.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Angela. I know that I asked you a very easy question. I want to ask easy questions to everyone. Next, who is going to volunteer? If you are not volunteering, think that I'm going to pick you. I am going to pick another guest. Nobody has volunteered. Guest Mary. Mary, are you ready? I don't know how to pronounce your last name, so I could see that you have unmuted yourself. Thank you, Mary.
Hello, it's Marie. Hello.
Okay, very simple question for you. What was the craziest theme park ride that you have been on? What was the craziest theme park ride that you have been on?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marie. I am quite an adventurous person, and I do enjoy taking on these thrilling theme park rides. I remember once when I was 12, we went on this ride called Anchors Away. It's basically shaped like a ship, and then it swings like this and like this until it makes a full 360 turn. and you have to hold on tight so you won't fall. I remember how my lungs just dropped, how my heart just dropped, how at one point I felt I was just going to die or free fall. It was a moment I'll never forget. But at the same time, it was so addictive. It was so addictive. And one thing I also learned, you have to tie your hair. You have to try to at least look presentable because there's a hidden camera. And all your funny, really hilarious facial expressions will be captured for everybody to see and laugh at. Needless to say, I never looked gorgeous in any of those rides. And after the ride, my family and I would laugh, like die laughing at the platform because our pictures would look utterly hilarious. I look utterly hilarious. Plus, I also looked sick. Another tip when you ride these crazy rides, don't go on a full stomach. Because after that ride, I immediately went to the bathroom where I had to throw up. Not a pretty sight. So my lesson after that experience is it's okay to get crazy. Just be careful not to go overboard. Back to you, Toastmaster.
I agree with you, Mary. I missed a golden opportunity because we were going for the Harry Potter ride in Florida. They gave us a ride. I think that will go, it looks like it is an animation. It will go on the air and you will have the wand and all. I missed it because I don't want, I closed all my eyes. I thought I was scared and I closed my eyes. But my son and my wife were making fun of me. That is great. You had that thing. Great. I really love it. All right. I am going to ask, thank you, Mary, for taking. I'm going to try a new guy today. Willie, are you ready to take the challenge? Willie is our immediate past president. Willie, are you ready to take the challenge on the table topics? Willie, are you there? I think he has switched on and he has left. All right. Since Willie is not there, I am going to pick our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day.
Can I get Peter Chong? Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a question. It is going to be a funny question. Don't get worried or something like that. What songs you would like to be played in a loop in a hell? What song would you like to be played in a loop that is again and again and again and again in the hell? In the hell.
In the hell.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the song that I want to play in the hell is, I think it will be the Better Man from Robert Williams. That is the song that actually I'm being learned with my friends to put in on the stage. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we spent 1 week's time essentially to train the song and also give the presentation and also play it in in the stage. So the reason actually I want to play the song in the hell is because you must do a very, very bad thing. Then when you die, then you will fall to the hell, right? So by listening a song Better Man again, it will trick you to how you will actually guide you how to become a better man. So when you learn to how to become a better man, then I believe so they might have some changes that you might go to the heaven, isn't it? Then and another, the second song that I want to play is what song that I want to play today in the loop. But anyway, I think that's all for me, Kanan.
Thank you, Peter. I tricked you. I know that you are so eager to participate and I just put your curveball. Sorry for that. That was a little bit difficult question, but you could have played, you could have stopped that, what songs you would like to play in your loop. That's okay. No problem. But you answered it very well. All right. Who is next? I'm not seeing anyone there. So I'm going to pick another volunteer, John Totten, I think.
Hello.
Are you ready, John?
Yes. Yeah.
I will ask you a very simple question because the last question was the most difficult question. In your opinion, what movie is most underappreciated? In your opinion, what movie is most underappreciated?
Underappreciated.
Yep.
Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. As for the movies that are underappreciated, I don't consider any particular movies that are underappreciated because everyone has their own opinion and their own likes and dislikes. They have their own way, their own perspective in seeing a particular movie. There are many things that I relate to in a movie that someone else will not relate to. They might not see the same perspective that I do. Their way of entertaining, the way of digesting the storyline, the plot line. Sometimes the cast that are in the movie, they might do an excellent performance, but the production must be horrible. So there are various factors. I cannot say a movie is underappreciated on the whole by everyone. I believe everyone has their own opinion to it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I thought that you will pick some movie and then explain about that, but that's okay. This is a different way of doing things. Yes, there are some of the good movies that has failed in the box office. At the same time, there are some trash movies who has become a hit, super hit. Both things have happened. Okay, that depends. I would say it may be next or whatever it is. I think. Thank you for that. Thank you anyhow for answering the question. Okay, I'm going to pick next table topic speaker, Pichai. He has volunteered. Pichai, are you ready to take the challenge?
Pichai here.
Pichai.
Not too difficult. I'm from Bangkok.
Yeah. Pichai is, yeah, I could definitely say, because that is the same word in my language also. So it is easy for me. I may not be able to pronounce an English name properly, but your name looks very easy for me to pronounce. Okay. I'm going to ask you this question. What is the worst advice you have given to anyone? What is the worst advice you have given to anyone?
Hardly I give any worst advice to anyone. I always give good advice. But to give the worst advice, probably the worst advice, I gave it to my son when he wanted to continue his study in the university. I pushed him and I asked him, you better go and study finance or economics. And I said, if you go to all those faculties, you make a lot of money. But if you go to the faculties such as like engineering, that may be a little bit tough. You might not be successful in that. I'm not quite sure about it. But he said that I tell you, your advice is only for yourself, not for me, because myself, I like engineering, then I want to study engineering. Then I asked him what engineering you want to study. He said, electricity. I think even that is very difficult. Why don't you study something like ID, industrial engineer or IE or something like that, which might be much easier. But say that is another worse advice again. I want to study electricity. And after that, I will just go ahead with the telecommunication and said that, well, I will continue my study further, telecommunication in Australia. I say, well, that should be enough. He said, no, I still want to study electricity and continue to telecommunication. And he was right, and he has been right all the time in having that persistence to stick to his own idea. Now he is quite, I can say he's quite successful with his job at the moment for the mobile phone company called Huawei. And he's the CTO of the company, and he is quite happy about it. So that was probably the worst advice out from my own experience. Fortunately, he did not take it. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Pichai. I think as a parent, we always think that our kids should go where they get more money in the future. That is what we think. We always try to think in terms of money. My son wants to become a musician. I know his music. I have heard his music. I know that there is no way he's going to be successful. So I told him, no, you are not going there for the music. So you go to a different profession. So I really understand what you are saying. Appreciate. I think Bienvenido, are you ready to take the challenge? I know I saw you volunteering at last. I thought that you will be volunteering at first.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. This is an unfamiliar territory for me, but I'm excited to listen and to answer.
Okay, I will ask you a very simple question.
Yeah.
If you would like to hang out with a cartoon character, who would you choose? If you would like to hang out with a cartoon character, who would you choose?
All right. The first cartoon character that comes to mind is, I'm not sure if everyone's familiar, his name is Rukawa. In our country, he's very popular because it's a basketball game. And this person is, this cartoon character is very popular with his basketball skills. He's very popular. It's like the heart of, and all the girls are cheering for her. But one thing that I'm really quite curious about his personality is how come he doesn't talk that much. He's very reserved, and it's just like that. So if given the choice, I would like to hang out with him and ask the reason why he acts like that. Is it to make himself mysterious? Is it to make himself the harsh of material? Or yeah, I just want to learn from him, and I want to see why he acts like that. So yeah, I think I would choose Rukawa to be the cartoon character that I want to hang out with. Thank you.
Thank you, Bienvenido. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, you're pronouncing it right.
Great.
Bienvenido.
Thank you. I think that concludes the table topic session for today. Our purpose is to entertain. I hope that I have picked some question. If you did not like that question, the whole issue is because of me, because I just picked a random question. Okay, but you guys all did very well. I think that everyone did excellent. I really appreciate, and I love the way Annie spoke with the body language, and I love the way everybody articulated with great answer. I felt very sad when Angela shared a story that she got sick. All these are excellent answers. Try to participate in table topics in the future so that you can be good at it. I appreciate. Now, I think that everyone qualified for the time. I know that Annie has just 10 seconds more, but I'm going to leave it to the president whether to include Annie or not. But I would say, include, but I will leave it to the president. I think president said yes. So we will go for the poll. Let us include everyone because I saw that everyone has answered very well and appreciate. And let us do the poll for the best table topic speaker. I'm going to give another 15 seconds or 30 seconds more. You need to put that, you need to complete the poll. Ten seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you lost the chance now anymore. I think the poll is closed. I am going to yield the lectern to our Toastmaster of the day, Peter. Once again, I apologize for giving you a curveball. Thank you.
Thank you, Dtm Kanan Shankara. So last club president, shall we have the 5 minutes break today? So the break will be 10:30. Then after that, shall we make again at 10:35? Club president Alicia? I am seeing yes. Okay, let's have a break for 5 seconds. Let's meet up on 10:35 seconds. Thank you. Welcome back, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Now we may start with our most exciting moment in the chapter meeting. We have 2 speakers today who were delivering their speech. So let's invite the first speaker, Dtm Kanan Shankara. The first speaker for this round will be attending Level 1 Project Mastering Fundamentals, researching and presenting for the Leadership Development Path. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Patricia Tay. Toastmaster Patricia Tay, may I request you to read out the purpose statement of the speech? Over to you, Patricia. Over to you, Patricia Tay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to open the evaluation form.
No worries.
Oh,
I have managed to do it. Yeah.
Got it?
Would you like me to do the timing for you, Patricia, while you evaluate?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yep.
I'm not able to open the evaluation form, so I can't read the purpose statement.
Okay, I can read it for you. Okay. If you are not able to open, I can send it by email.
Okay. Yes,
Can you
I managed
open?
to do it, Kanan.
Thank you.
you.
Good.
I managed to do it. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Over to you.
Thank you, Patricia Tay. So Dtm Kanan Shankara is living in Baltimore, Maryland. His wife Janaki Kanan and loves to travel. He also has one son who is studying in Johns Hopkins, and he started the Toastmaster journey late 2012 to improvise his speaking skill. He is giving speeches without any preparation, and his goal is to speak without any grammar mistake. Please put your hands together for Dtm Kanan Shankara. Dtm
Thank you.
Shankara.
But I think, thank
you.
you. One minute. Who's the timer now for this? I need to pin that.
I am. I'm speaking so you can find me.
1 minute. Let me check. Where are you?
Can you see me?
Yeah. 1 minute. I'm just checking.
The timing sequence for this speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. 5, we will flash 5 at green, 6 at yellow at 6, and 7 at red.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. I used to work in Australia, Sydney, Australia, for nearly 6 years. When I used to travel back to India for vacation at that time, I'm talking about sometime in late 90s, I used to stop at Singapore airport. Singapore airport is the best airport at that time and always used to get the best airport in the world award. They also give us half-a-day tour so that we can go around and see some important place in Singapore. At that time, they mentioned that even though Singapore is well advanced, they need water from Malaysia. They are always transporting water from Malaysia because there was no river or no water resources within Singapore, so they are able to manage water from other countries. But I want to tell you, there are so many countries enriched with rivers, but do you think that they are managing that efficiently? No. The river pollution is damaging to the environment. Irrespective of the location, you pick Asia, you pick Europe, you pick Africa, most of the rivers are polluted. In most places, there are no regulations to protect the water quality and environmental integrity. There are rules. For example, there are rules in India, but nobody can enforce it. The people do not listen to those rules. They cite religious reasons for that. And the government officials are not reaping any success because they are not able to implement any what you can call any rules, I could say. The rivers are very important. Rivers are integral. Rivers need to be there. Without the rivers, we are going to have problem. And the rivers water is used for plant, animal, human life. I am going to pick 3 or 4 rivers which are totally polluted. And you will, when you realize about that, you know how much we are throwing things into that river. The most obvious type of pollution, you may, before I go to that river, I will say what type of pollution we are getting. Most of the people throw trash and anything consisting of material and factory waste. You know, the factories, they don't have any treatment plants. They just put their wastage into the water, and those wastage clog into the waterways, and the birds which are eating those rivers are going to get into problem. And also they put some fertilizers, detergents, organic, heavy metals, everything. In India, they used to wash clothes in the river, and they put all the what you can call, all the soaps, detergent, everything on that. Now, let us see some of the most polluted rivers in the world. You will be surprised that this will not be like this. First, let me say Niger River Delta. The Niger River was one of the best river, but now what is happening? Because they have built access for all the transporting vessels carrying goods for Africa. It comes through Nigeria, and all the exports are going, and there is so much of pollution. You know that when that ship comes there, they put oil, they put slippage, they put spillage, they put any type of waste in that. And the spillage could be, I think when I did the research in 1958, it was up to 13 million barrels of oil. Oh my God, you can think of that. How much of oil they are throwing on the river. That is enormous. Second, I'm going to talk about my country, the Ganges, India, one of the most religious river. This is the river everybody thinks in India, one of the sacred river. This river is used for bathing, ritualistic purpose, and they put sewer on that water. And that Ganges river, when it started, it will be so fresh. And by the time it goes to the Calcutta, after traveling 2,000 kilometers, it is totally polluted. You cannot even see that water. Industrial waste, from Kanpur, Allahabad, Varanasi, everywhere, wherever the river goes, the people put their the contamination, the industries put their contamination, everything is like that. Third, the Sitaram River in Indonesia. This is a 300-kilometer river that goes through the West Java. And this is also one of the most polluted river. Reason, all the industries operating on that are just putting their wastage there. What to do? There is nobody can provide. And another classic thing in India I want to share, even if you go and ask an industry not to do that, they say put a penalty. You know what is the penalty? 5,000 rupees. That was somewhere, it was revised in 1947. 5,000 rupees is now, say $80 or $70. Happily, the industry pays that, then put more wastage onto the river. This is one of the scenario where we need to revisit all the penalties and other things. The last, Argentina. The Rio River through Buenos Aires. I think I'm pronouncing that name correctly, Buenos Aires in Argentina. Before it goes to the Atlantic Ocean, so much of industrial pollution. Actually, I would say the industrialist, number one. Number two, there is no, the people are not concerning about the quality of the river. So fellow Toastmasters, why I'm saying this? As a responsible citizens, we need to make sure we don't throw garbage onto the river. And I urge all the government to bring stern action or cancel the licenses for the industries who are throwing the wastage onto the river. Let us all help the river to be unpolluted. Let us clean the river so that we can have a healthy life. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dtm Kanan Shankara. Let's welcome the second speaker. The second speaker for this round will be attending Level 3, Increasing Knowledge Project 1, Planning and Implementing for the Leadership Development Path. To evaluate this speech, we have Dtm Lee Ling. Can I request you to read out the purpose statement of the speech? Over to you, Dtm Lee Ling. Lee, you are muted.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan and bringing that plan to fruition. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of planning and implementing his or her small skills project. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Dtm Lee Ling. Toastmaster Angela Lansbury teach English and Business English online and give workshops. Her books include Wedding Speech and Toast, Quick Quotations, Who Say What When, for Camera ebook, Improve Your English with Angela. You can see her book and blogs online. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Angela Lansbury, My Blogging Workshop. My Blogging Workshop, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury, over to you.
Thank you very much, Peter. Fellow Toastmasters, I'm going to tell you about how I planned a blogging workshop and how I revised it. First of all, I want to share my screen with you. I'd like to know if you can see my shared screen.
Yes, Angela, we can see your screen.
Show famous blogs. Now, this is the first slide of my revision. If you can see me as well, can you see me?
No, I only see the PowerPoint slide.
Okay, then I'll have to stop sharing. What I did was I made a series of slides for my workshop on blogging. And I previously talked about blogging, and Lee Chui Ling had said to me that she didn't know what a blog was. So I'd wasted my entire talk missing out the essentials of telling people what a blog was. So when I gave my workshop, I started by saying that a blog was a weblog and you did it every day. And some people did it once a month, and some people got tired of doing it and ended up putting up 1 or 2 blogs and never doing it again. So when I came to revise this for a full-length workshop, not just a speech, I started with the first slide on what was a blog. And I did a series of slides, and as you can see, what I did here was I made myself a handout in which I could see all the different slides. Now, something I only discovered recently, which has transformed my life, and some of you may know it already, and some of you it'll be a big surprise like it was to me. In PowerPoint, you can go to View, and you can rearrange all your slides in the mosaic. So instead of seeing them in the line down the side, you see them in a mosaic. So that if you've got something on a subject in slide 1 and something on the same subject in slide 10, you can move the slide 10 up next to slide 1. Oh, this transformed my whole life. That was a great improvement. I had spent hours and hours planning my slides, and I'm going to tell you about pictures and text. I decided that I needed a picture on every slide. Now, a lot of people say that you should have a picture on a slide and not even have any text at all. You should just talk to the slide, and the picture should summarize what you're talking about. So, as you can see, in my new slide, which I put up earlier, I'll put it up again if I can. I'll go into share screen and show you. I decided I ought to start off with the most successful blog. So I looked for the most successful blog ever, and it turned out to be an entertaining blog called Cake Rex. The lady who wrote this got 100,000 people looking at it right from day one, and she is the top blogger, and bakeries all over the world look at her blog every day, and some of them say we look at the blog to see if our mistakes are on there. So this time I have a big picture on this slide, but I'm now considering, do I need to go back to a slide about blogging or talk about blogging before I move on to talking about Cake Rex? Now, the other interesting thing about Cake Rex was she then went on to make a book from her blog, and she had a best-selling book in the top 10 in the New York list of best-selling books. So blogging is a serious subject. You can make a lot of money and you can make yourself world famous if you do it right. So I looked for the picture. The other thing I did was I decided, now I'll unshare this screen so that you go back to seeing me again. I have to click on stop share. I gradually learned to do all this. I like to have some text on a slide so that people who've come in late or people who don't speak English or can't understand my accent can see where they are. So I try to put a title on every slide and to make the title big enough to see. Now, the other thing I do is I use my handout as a guide to me as a speaker. So if I'm not showing the slides, I'm using them to hop along. So I've got 6 on a handout and I've got 6 ideas that I can talk about. The trouble is if you've got too much on a slide, you can't read what's on it when you make a handout. So you have to do what you're told to do, which is to make sure you've only got 6 points of text on a slide, and that the text is big enough for somebody to read. And that's for 2 people, the person in the audience looking at the slide and me looking at it in the handout. And finally, I changed the slides. When I had questions at the end, I put the questions and answers at the end of my slideshow, at the end of my blog. So I've answered the previous questions in the later speeches. So now you know what I have done. I would like to have your feedback in the chat box, or you can call me for my slides, which are now revised, or you can email me and I'll repeat what's on every slide. That's another thing I've done. At the bottom of every slide, I put my contact details. And my contact details I will put in the chat box, annalondon8@gmail.com, and my phone number, which you can get through the WhatsApp for this group. Hope you enjoyed it and been entertained. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela Lansbury. Hope we can see your blog is in the top ranking future soon. So without further delay, may I invite the timer for the timing reports? Over to you, Toastmaster Patricia Tay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The timer's report. Kanan Shankara spoke for 7 minutes, 31 seconds. Angela Lansbury spoke for 7 minutes, 20 seconds. That's the timer's report for the prepared speeches.
Thank you, Patricia Tay. So, Club President Alicia Chen, do we need to launch a poll as we only have 2 speakers for tonight? No poll. Okay, no polling today. So let's have our second break for another 5 minutes. So let's come back on 11 p.m. Malaysia time or Singapore time. I will now stop the recording. Now, welcome back, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Now it's the most important round of the Toastmaster meeting. In this round, constructive feedback is given to each speaker so that the member can benefit from the experience of the evaluators and become better speakers. For this, I will invite Toastmaster Patricia Tay. Toastmaster Patricia Tay has been in early childhood profession for over 20 years and a mother to 3 lovely girls. She believes that the joys of learning should not never stop. Over to you, Toastmaster Patricia Tay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Peter, for the wonderful introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially to Dtm Kanan Shankara. It is another opportunity to evaluate your speech, and I am so honored to do it. Dtm Kanan, you are definitely passionate about the topic that you presented today. The title of your speech was also very clear. River pollution. And I am sure many of us are interested in that. Well, I am definitely interested in that. It is something that concerns everyone, isn't it? The passion was very clear. Your title was very clear. Your enthusiasm is commendable. Kanan, your voice was very clear right from the start till the end, and you started off at the right pace. You were very expressive and had a variety of expression to engage your audience. You also gave a lot of information on the topic that you presented on today. You have kept yourself well within the frame. This time, it is so much more improved than the previous rounds. And your background is very nice, Toastmasters background. We can't go wrong with that, right? Now I shall give some recommendations on how you could do better for future speeches. You have kept yourself well within the frame, but when you were showing your hand gestures, you were going like this, just like how I'm doing it now, like this. So part of your hand gestures were actually not visible. What you could do is perhaps move your device slightly away from you, so it is more visible to the audience. You can also consider delivering your speech standing up. I'm not sure if you were standing up just now, because when you're standing up, you have more control over the positioning. The audience will have a better view of your hand gestures. You can also pause for a longer time at certain parts, especially when you ask questions. You pause for about 1 second. What you could do is to count your potatoes. Perhaps after you ask a question, you could go 1 potato, 2 potatoes in your heart. Then you carry on with your speech. That way, audience will have time to think. Hand gestures were good, but you could slow down and give some emphasis to the information that you were giving. And finally, Kanan, I have this suggestion for you. At the end of your speech, you could give us examples on how we could do our part to keep the rivers clean. You did mention that you would urge us to do our part to keep the rivers clean. I thought it would have been better if you gave us specific steps, specific action plans on what we could do. All in all, it was a really enjoyable speech, and we have all gained some information on the topic. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patricia Tay. Next, let's invite DTM Lee Choi Ling. DTM Lee Choi Ling is from Hong Kong North Toastmaster Club. She is also a mother of 3. Her sister encouraged her to join Toastmaster to improve her English and confidence. She loves brisk walking and enjoys traveling and taking photos for memory. Over to you, DTM Lee Choi Ling. DTM Lee Choi Ling, are you muted?
Thank you, Toastmasters of the Day. Good afternoon, good morning, and to everyone. Today we have heard about Angela's speech on the workshop, my blogging workshop. I will evaluate Angela's speech into 2 parts. One is commendations and one is recommendation. Now, what do you think that Angela's done well? I could say that first, she has improved the step that she's planned on her PowerPoint. She included the slide and she said that there's a picture on it, and most importantly that the message that she doing the workshop, audience would captivate on her message and how to blog, to do the blogging. So is this part done well? And next, secondly, I found that Angela has improved her eye contact, but she can even improve well if she still continue, if she improves the space of the computer screen and look into the camera, because some of the time I see Angela still look, the eyes look upward. So in this point, I could say that she has improved. Do it again Well done, Angela, on this part. Now, on recommendation, recommendation is that, ladies and gentlemen, do you think that Angela has fulfilled her project objective? Because one part of the project objective is to practice developing a plan and bringing the plan to fruitions. So from here, I could say that Angela should to tell us what are the plan and what are the steps that she has implemented on for this purpose. And another thing is that the second is that implementation. Yes, of course, in the title, she has mentioned she has implemented because there's a workshop, my blogging workshop. So she has implemented. But to challenge her here, I wanted to hear more how she implement, what is the planning stage that it is. So all in all, Angela, in summary, you have shared with us an interesting blogging, and we also would like to know that what is your planning and implementing stage that could call us to action, that we want to learn more from you, your blogging workshop. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Lee Chui Link. I believe all our members and guests are actually were able to learn based on the feedback and improve accordingly based on the feedback that provided. Now, finally, let's call upon, could I call the timer for the timings reports for evaluator?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Timers report, Patricia Tay, 3 minutes, 29 seconds. Lee Chui Ling, 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patricia Tay. Finally, let's call, before we hand over to Club President for the best table topic, best awards, sorry. As we only have 2 evaluators now, so there will be not any voting for that. So before I hand over to our Club CP for the best awards, let's call our R counter DTM Lee Buckley for the R counter report. Over to you, DTM Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. As I mentioned earlier, the role of the R counter is to keep track of your word crutches. For example, the purpose is to help you to improve your speaking skills. Quite often, we don't realize as we speak, you know, the crutches that we mentioned. For example, as we're thinking, what I would like to do is share my slides with you. Again, this is not to pick on anyone, but is to report on what I heard. What I would like you to also take note is that, particularly as we are online, quite often the sounds get picked up very easily through your microphone, even when you're just saying the slight or thinking the slight And therefore, what I heard was a lot of and so's tonight. And again, as I mentioned earlier, this is not to pick on everyone, but for you to reflect on the word crutches that you have used tonight. This is the first page, and this is the second page. If anyone would like to have more details, please feel free to contact me. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Lee Buckley. May I now request our club president, Alicia Chia, for the award ceremony for the best table topic speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Peter Cheong. Let me share my screen. Now, everyone, you have come to the most exciting part of the chapter meeting, which is the award presentation. Yes, the main winner will go to our best table topic speaker. We had 10 speakers tonight, and Unfortunately, we can only have one winner. So let us have the drum roll, please, everybody. And the winner for the best table topic speaker is just give me a minute. I'm having some technical issues. It's none other than our guest, Marie Gutierrez. Marie, are you there? Congratulations, Marie. Well done. Well done. You really entertain us with your rendition of your experience of the roller coaster, 360 degrees turn. I remember your heart dropped, your lungs dropped, like a free fall, and it was addictive. You see, I was listening. Yeah. And the entertaining part was it. Be sure to look good because your face will be captured by the hidden camera.
Marie, would you like to give your best smile now? So it's not going to be a surprise when it comes out on our social media. We want to have the best smile and not a roller coaster expression. Okay, 1, 2, smile. Perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you, Toastmaster Patricia Tay. Unfortunately, we only had 2 speakers and 2 evaluators, so I cannot give any award, but I would like to thank the 2 speakers for entertaining the audience today and members as well. I like the 2 speeches. I can see Toastmaster Dtm Kanan put a lot of research into polluting rivers. Well, in Singapore, although we are not a very big country, we have Kallang River. What other rivers do we have? They were also polluted long time ago until the government stepped in. So for us to get rid of pollution in our lovely rivers, we do need the government help. And of course, as well as the citizens' help to have initiative as responsible citizens. I also like Angela's speech. Angela's speech on blogging workshop. Well, I didn't know blogging can make so much money, but you must remember what Angela said. You can make lots of money provided you do it right. So obviously Angela has done something right, because after she spoke her speech, someone asked her about blogging, right? Now, I'd just like to remind members and guests that connection is very important. Although it's COVID-19 and lots of us are stuck at home, be it lockdown or semi-lockdown, or because you want to be safe, connection is still very important. Online connection, there are a lot of disadvantages. It's a bit difficult to connect, right, when you're online, because you can't see the non-verbal cues that the other party is portraying. So you need to also try to go out and have connection as well. After your online connection, do take an opportunity to go out there, exercise, whatever means, get a connection. But for me, I use entertainment a lot as a way to connect with others. I didn't realize that, but I had it when I was young. So now that we are now in Toastmasters, I get even more chance to entertain and connect with people that I love, and even my friends out there. So I'd like everyone to think about connecting, not only with your loved ones, but with your friends, and go beyond your comfort zone. Don't be stuck in the 4 walls, right? So take advantage of every opportunity. In fact, next week, I'm getting out my 4 walls to have a real connection with people. Okay, so think about it. Connecting with people is very important. You are not living alone, right? Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Peter Chong.
Thanks, Club President Alicia Chia. I think I should over to you, Alicia Chia, for the end of the meeting.
Yeah, that was actually my closing speech. So anyway, I would like to wish everyone, guests and members, a pleasant and safe journey back. And I shall call the meeting to an end. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.